our input to the Rio+20 global consultation, online consultation for the outcome document, and it was People Power and Rio+20, mobilizing civil society for sustainable development and strong United Nations. And it's this philanthropy aspect and youth resource mobilization innovations for and by youth is a key element. And we have a 15-15-15 UN civil society partnership formula where we say that civil society should not only wait for governments in Rio, but all society and everybody of us should commit to do our part. And this 15-15-15 formula would mean that civil society commits to mobilize 15 billion euros and mobilize 15 million volunteers by the year 2015 to support UN-led sustainable development efforts. So thank you for this bringing philanthropy in, because philanthropy is a great avenue for social innovation also.
How have governments played a role in this imbalance of sustainable development, and what kind of modules could be created to make this point an awakening for those people?
The reason I'm really here is that I have seen the impact youth can have on projects like this, the great knowledge and experience, which is often underestimated, that youth can bring to the table, and I just want to ensure that our voices will be heard. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Robert Pollard, Information Habitat, where information lives. My focus since the lead into Rio has been a dual thing of both the critical role of information technology. The World Wide Web was launched a week before the third Rio COP. It didn't exist when the negotiations, and nothing has changed more dramatically in that time. And the youth of today have grown up with this technology and have probably far more skills, and I think the role of it in the green economy is essentially a carbon-free environment where the constraints of the laws of conservation of mass and energy don't apply, because information doesn't have any mass, it doesn't have any physical size. But the other aspect which really drew me into it more particularly is our relationship with nature, and particularly concerned with the rights of nature, and that's something that is present in so many spiritual traditions. The other thing, concern that sort of relates to your self-identification is what is the role of those who are no longer youth and might be considered elders in relationship to the youth, and also that's a two-way thing. How can we work together? Because, while youth has a lot more energy, sometimes we have seen a little bit more and have a certain perspective, and we find out later on in life.
Yeah, that's very important. That is a partnership. Only then it will really be progress.
I'm here from the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. I'm looking for more information that our local Girl Scouts can get involved, because we do have a wonderful youth organization, an international organization of 145 countries. And I was talking to John Paul before, and he knows Bernadette Isla, which is very involved. So I'm looking for more information that I can get back to them. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. And congratulations to your great work. So you're really very active. We've seen you at a high-level meeting on youth, and also
and it is
many
our
other.
100th anniversary of the Girl Scouts.
Super. Please, congratulations.
Hello, I'm Alice Hogan. I'm from Australia. I work for the Australian government. I'm actually here for the initial discussions on Zero Draft which start on Wednesday. And I've actually been asked to attend this workshop by a colleague of mine who is particularly interested in youth. So I'm here to take some notes for him and report back when I get home.
My name is Corina Villacorta. I work with World Vision International, a Christian organization working in about 90 countries on a grassroots level. We certainly engage in many, many countries with children and youth. We are very much involved as civil society organization in the Rio Plus discussions, and certainly from Brazil, engaging youth groups and networks with all the activities that are happening down there. So I'm here to learn. I am very interested in what new patterns of consumption and production could emerge as alternatives to what we have today, which could be more sustainable, and what's the role the youth can play in those, and particularly youth in the emerging economies, such as Brazil, India, etc.
So there are very many people around the world who don't have access to preparatory process of Rio+20 or even knowing what the UN is, and also many people who have totally different economic realities, but also spiritual realities, and we have really to be aware that when we talk about Rio+20, it has to be a Rio+20 for 100%, so not only for this 1% that we represent.
I'm Richard Jordan from International Council for Caring Communities. We're launching the third of our music compendiums on Wednesday night in the ECOSOC Council Chamber at 6:30 p.m. 100 projects approximately from 45 countries that involve music in terms of education, health. They're on-the-ground projects. There'll be CDs presented. The 37 children from the Ulan Buir Choir, who arrived last night and will be singing with the New York Philharmonic, will also be there. But I really need to acknowledge Robert Pollard, who in the Rio process, the first Rio process, did more to facilitate the communication among NGOs than perhaps anyone else in the NGO community. Robert was a real pioneer, and we need to acknowledge you as one of the real innovators at that time. At Rio, the original Rio, I was one of the several producers who produced the concert with John Denver that was held in the Bowl, I think it was called. Also the final concert of 7 hours on the beach. Many different events at Rio, but my real claim to fame is that I was one of the 5 original co-founding editors of the Earth Negotiations Bulletin, which everyone knows as the journal of record at environment and development negotiations. It never was what it is now. It was a service for NGOs, and it took a life of its own. And it's the great service, I think, for everybody, whether you're a civil society, government, anyone. You can really learn a lot from the ENB. And at the Earth Summit in 1992, it was the only time in its existence that it came out on a daily basis as an 8.5 by 14 sheet of paper. It's always 8.5 by 11, but at Rio it was 8.5 by 14. Too much to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard, and I think you deserve a round of applause for you. Please.
My name is Sofia Garcia. I am representing Alas de Rio, which is a project that is trying to materialize many of the things that have been said here. On the one hand, we do a lot of things, but I'm going to highlight 2 of them. On the one hand, we are doing a documentary about voices of youth on sustainable development. So our goal is include all the people that is in the field and don't know even what the UN is, voices, and bring it into Rio and say there's people that don't know who you are, but they also have their opinion that is very respectable on what sustainable development is. And they are the ones that are going to make development sustainable. That's one of the goals, and yeah, the general goal is to include more voices and youth voices into the Rio+20 process. On the other hand, we are, the way we do that is, by the way, using new technologies, which is very related to innovation. We use Facebook, we use Twitter, we use Skype, we use email, and we are a lot of people communicating using the World Wide Web you were referring to. Because we are that generation that was born typing in a computer. And then on the other hand, we are a platform to bring projects together also, connect projects like Jean Paul Project and other youth major group and youth in general, people working on the same goal in the end, which is to bring the voice of youth and the interest of youth into the Rio+20 process.
And it's New York based, or?
Yeah, we are everywhere, but it's New York based. We act mostly here.
Hi, my name is Janae Bushman, and I am working at UNESCO right now in the education sector, so this is very relevant to youth and jobs and education.
Thank you very much. UNESCO is very important.
Hello, I'm also from UNESCO actually, from the liaison office, because the headquarters is in Paris, as you know, and we are here as liaison. And we're very much involved in all the Rio preparations and negotiations, and I'm very much interested, of course, in everything that has to do with both youth on one hand and innovation on the other. And as you said before, we had a lot of collaboration in the past, and we'd like to continue that.
Wonderful. And it's really a United Nations Organization for Education, Science and Culture. That's really totally the same scope like we have today. Innovation is best suited in your organization. Please.
Hi, my name's Ann Hughes. I'm really happy to be here today. I'm here with Sharon and the Spirituality Committee. And my other hat is I work for a magazine called Kid Spirit that you have up there on their board, and it's basically giving a global voice to kids on big global issues.
We'll pass it around. Yeah.
I'm a kid champion. I believe they're going to save us on all levels, and I'm here to be of service to them. I'm going to Rio, so I want to hook up with this concert and do what I can to help the kids.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Andres Carter. I'm trying to figure out where to begin because there's several things that relate to the topics that we've been discussing. The first is I work at a place called Project for Public Spaces. It has a partnership with UN Habitat, specifically on the development of public space in informal settlements. So there's a few things there I'll go through quickly. One is a project that we're developing with the Police Pacification Unit in Rio de Janeiro, the social component that deals with what to do once they've occupied the favelas and how to engage these spaces so that there's a good relationship between the security forces and the community. So the first effort that they want to enact is mapping of the favelas so that they understand all the resources and context, something that can be basically tracked spatially, and then also be brought to the attention of the governing institutions like there's I forgot the name right now, but the institution that develops the maps of all of the urbanized areas of Rio de Janeiro. But also secondly, there's someone developing a digital tool for mapping in the organization. And we're talking right now about strategies of how to actually develop this tool so that people can use it through platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, etc. And then aside from that, and apart from that, I'm also one of the organizers for the TEDx Big Apple event on disruptive innovation. So really, we're really trying to get people who have the potential innovations that could change the way specifically communities like in informal settlements are starting to voice themselves or participate in these initiatives like Rio+20. And then thirdly, lastly, I'm also developing a project where, 4 workshops on ecological design in the favelas, and would like to get youth involved, so that's a side interest.
Hi, my name is Thomas Franz. I'm an intern at the NGO, the Chapel of Understanding, and I'm particularly working on ethical implications of corporate sustainability, which I think both relates to innovation and youth in its own ways.
You? Andreas?
Andrew Schwartz. Wear 2 hats here. One is I also am an intern at the Temple of Understanding, working with youth, the ethics behind youth and environment. It's great to all be in a room together and all agree that green environment is the way to go, but what are the ethical foundations, what's undergirding it? And when we leave rooms like this and go to talk to other people who disagree with us, why are we doing this? So that's one of my aspects. And then 2, I also work with Occupy and the Occupy Earth Summit and trying to rally different Occupy groups from around the world to come to Rio using the Earth Summit as a platform to work on these different smaller communities and innovating alternative styles of life that don't go wrong with the status quo. So saying, yes, Rio, this could be a great thing, but we're also wanting to move farther and more. So in support of, and then working with small communities at an international level. So that's it.
Hi, my name is Claire Lambert. I work for the UN CSV Secretariat,
I'm in the office of the Executive Coordinators for +20, and I'm here to show my support on behalf of the Executive Coordinators for this initiative.
Hi, my name is Sonia Princer. I work for Peace Child International, and I'm their coordinator for their Green Economy Eco-Business Innovation Challenge, so that's what I'm here.
Super. Yeah, thank you very much for this introductory round. I'm really extraordinarily happy to have so competent and enthusiastic people with us.